Hello and welcome to Outside In. My name is Steven. The topic that we're going to be discussing today is very serious. So I ask that you please bear with me as I'm going to be covering a lot of information and a lot of details. This is going to be quite exciting. I'm excited to do this video, and even though this video has cost me some money, you know what? I don't care. If it saves one life, it was worth everything that I spent to be able to do this video. Too many times we put a value on money. We should not do that. I don't do that at all. I say it's just money. It's only money. Some people think I'm nuts when I say that. But you know what? You can't put a price on life. The life that I'm speaking about could be yours. It could be your child. Could be a friend. Could be a mother, father, brother, sister. What today we're going to be covering is air quality meters. The reason I decided to do this video is because I started researching air quality meters, a few months ago. And before I purchase anything, I do loads and loads of research because I can't afford to spend money on worthless junk. Now, I love Chinese products. Chinese meters, I have lots of Chinese meters. I have lots of Chinese tools for electronic repair, and I just love them. It's so exciting to get a new one and to be able to save money and get a decent product in that regard is incredible. But where I believe the Chinese definitely 100% have completely crossed the line is in air quality meters. There's one in particular meter that we're going to be looking at today that a lot of people rave about because they say it's great and it's accurate, but the sad truth is it's not. It's junk, it's garbage, it's fake, and I'm going to prove that today. Well, there's two other meters that I found that I was going to purchase one of those. I decided not to, and I'm going to show you why. But the reason I decided not to go ahead and purchase it is because God showed me two videos on the internet that prove this monitor is fake and it's worthless and it's not going to save anyone's life. As a matter of fact, it's going to cause someone's life. And I'm going to show you where you can go see these videos. So that saved me some money. So I don't even know how much I spent now. There's going to be at least two meters that I recommend, and one that I kind of sort of recommend, and you'll find out why I kind of sort of recommend it. This is the thing that I want to say. When it comes to your life, when it comes to your child's life, your grandmother's life, your grandfather, your father, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your friends, when it comes to their life, don't put a price tag on it. If you are serious about getting into an air quality meter that's going to give you good information, decent information, don't base it on, oh, that one's only $20 and that one's $30. That's only $30. But this one, the other one over here is $200. I can't afford $200. This is what I say. Is your life worth $200? I know mine is. Mine definitely is. And for me, yours is. That's why I spent this money. I have two meters that cost nearly $200. I have another meter that costs close to $100, and I have another meter that costs $50, and another meter that costs about $100 or more, and then the one meter that I want to warn you about, $21, I think it was $21 on AliExpress, and that's the one that we are going to be taking apart. So we're going to do our take apart as well in this video. So please stay with me, bear with me, be patient. This is going to be a fun ride for me anyhow. I hope it is for you too. We're also going to talk about failures in readings, what can cause them. So anyway, without further ado, let's get right to it. I'm going to show you these other two meters I didn't need to purchase because they already have been proven fake. Now I'm going to show you here just a second why both of these are, even their updated model is fake. All right, let's go to that video. Okay, now this guy here is one of the video that I watched, fake Chinese air quality meters. Okay, now I'm not going to play the video for you, but now this guy here, this is the one I just showed you on Amazon. I was going to buy this. I had it in my cart to pay for it. Then God showed me this video. He said, Steve, you don't need to do that. Just use the money to get the others. This guy takes this apart. He also takes this one apart, and it is crazy what's inside. There's nothing inside. There is nothing inside these except one teeny tiny little sensor, and that's why it is fake. And the sensor that's in these are the VOC sensors on both of them. And most of these Chinese fake meters that just put a bunch of pretty numbers up there, and we'll be looking at that sensor. Go check this video out to watch this video. Both of these meters he takes apart and he proves to you that they are fake. Okay, now as far as going back to this meter, as far as this one here being fake, I don't need a video to watch that their updated version is just pretty is all it is. Because if you scroll down, God please, I pray it's still in there. Okay, here it is. This is a fake readings. While it's appealing because it's pretty, but look at this. He shows, he took his apart. The new updated version, he took it apart and look at that. That is a VOC sensor. A VOC sensor. That is the only sensor on this board. These are just numbers. There's only one sensor on this board, and it is that typical VOC. This is fake. I think they're using like a microprocessor to automatically make calculations that throw all these different numbers up. I think that's what is happening. So they're doing some kind of math that makes these numbers jump around, and probably using logic, because I use a lot of logic when I program in my spreadsheet. So if this number is this, then this number is going to be, it's going to be here and it's going to go to there. And then if this number is that, then this number here is going to be that number divided by 10. And then if this is that number, then it'll add 5 to that number. Because that's the only thing that makes any sense. These numbers look, sometimes it makes you think they're actually real, but they're not. It's just a bunch of calculations going on. So what I'm saying with all of this is, please don't waste your money. Ask somebody. Do a lot of research. The meter that I just showed you was $54. Now I have a really good meter that is $40. But in here, I know I do. Here, let me show you. Okay, here's the other one. This is a Hofun air quality monitor. But basically what this does is particle matter. 2.5, 1.0, and 10. It gives humidity and temperature and air quality index. Okay, so some people that live in California or in a smoky area would be interested in something like this. But let me tell you, this thing does work. It is quite accurate. You'll see that. It's in the video today. We have it. I have it. I bought it, and it's $43. Now, the reason this is probably only $43 is because it really only has 2 sensors, particle sensor and the humidity and temperature sensor. This is another meter that we're going to be looking at that I purchased. This is the Temtop M2000. Now this one is going to be quite interesting, and we're going to get into that, and I don't have to say anything right now because I know I'll remember to say it. If you're thinking about buying the M2000 or a Temtop in general, please watch the rest of this video because you may change your mind. Now this is the other meter that I have. So I decided to test 2 Temtop meters. This is the Temtop M10, okay, which you'll see in this video because I have it. We will be testing it, and it pretty much is accurate with 2 of the other meters. Now here, if I remember, I'll put a link to this website in the description, but this is a carbon monoxide levels chart. Now this talks about what safe levels are and what you should be looking for if you're having an issue in your home. It's guidelines. But the thing that's so cool about this website also is that you can search for any like carbon CO2. You can also do, they talk about CO2, carbon monoxide, ammonia, all kinds of different things. So this is a pretty incredibly informative website. So let's now look at the meters. Okay, here we are. Okay, this is the Temtop M2000. This is the Temtop M10. This is the Hofun monitor that I was showing you. And this is the Hofun, I think it was. But there's several of these. There's several of these with different names. You'll just have to do some research on the one that you're interested in getting, because it may not be a Hofun. It may be a totally different name. But I would say that pretty much the ones that look like this probably are decently accurate. But like I said, do your research first. If you have something that you would like me to test, then please let me know. I'd love to do that. Now this is the AliExpress meter that we will be taking apart. Even if it means breaking it, we will take it apart to see what is inside. So Franklin I hope I'm saying your name right, and forgive me if I'm not. But at least Franklin finally know what's inside of this. Okay, and this is the other meter that we're going to be looking at. And this is that the carbon monoxide sensor I was telling you about. Now, I'm hoping that this is not going to give me a bad reading. And the reason I say that is because actually my landlord had some people in here and they've redid my bathroom. So they've been doing a lot of painting. And the last couple of days I was getting carbon monoxide in here readings, and It turns out it was just the paint that was interfering with this. So thank God for that. And my landlady, she was worried for me. So, and thank God for that. I'm glad for that. But it just turns out that the paint was interfering, and she didn't know that. And she said, well, that's good to know. We're going to be doing a test to show you something about this one by using this one. Okay, now this one here doesn't have carbon monoxide. The only one that shows carbon monoxide is this one. And, well, quote unquote, this one. Oh, okay. I'm probably going to be laughing a lot in this video. Okay, if you'll notice here on the M2000, the particle matter 2.5 is reading 13.5. And now this has been setting here for a while. I had these all set up and running for a while before I started this video to make sure everything settled down. The M10 reads 4. The Hofun reads 6, which is actually pretty decent in comparison. And this Hofun is reading 4. So all three of these meters pretty much are running neck and neck. Look at this, 13.6. And the reason that I contacted Temtop was I was thinking, since this was a more professional version, that maybe it was just more sensitive, and that's why the readings were so high. I took this outside, I calibrated it. I don't know how many times I calibrated this thing to try to get it. But see, the problem is you can't calibrate the particle matter. You can't even zero it out for it to start over. So I think that sucks that you can't zero this out in case there's getting a false reading. I took this outside. Outside, it won't go below, it stays around 18 or 19. When this M10 setting just a little, about a foot away from it, reads like this, like right here. 1 to 4 outside. This one reads about 18 outside, 19, and then it'll jump up to 25. And then it will go back down to 18, but it won't go below 18 on the outside. It will not go below 11 or 12, and once in a while it'll jump down to 10 inside here. When these are setting at 1 and 3, see, this is, see, still 3, 4, and 4. So all three of these are agreeing with one another, and this was the most expensive of them. Okay, and this one was kind of expensive too. This is a really good meter. This is a really good meter. This is a really good meter. The thing is, this one here and this one here gives more information. The M10, it gives a total volatile organic compound reading. This was 0.370. This one is 0.282. So these are very close in similarity. This one, unfortunately, does not do TVOC. Now, I was doing research on these sensors. The reason meters that are like 20 bucks, the reason that's garbage is because most of the sensors that I've looked at, just one sensor could be $40 to $100. I've seen some sensors be as much as $2,000 just for the sensor, nothing else. So how can they possibly create a device that gives 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different readings with one little sensor? How can they give 6 different readings, okay, for 20 bucks when sensors, you can't even buy a sensor for 20 bucks? So this has several sensors inside. One of the particle sensor is just like this one. Okay, this is a particle sensor right here, and that's what this has in it. But it also has a formaldehyde sensor in it as well. But I thought that maybe the VOC sensor was bad, so I bought a new one. And I think it was like, I can't remember now, $20 or $30. I can't, maybe 20 bucks, I think, for that little sensor. I bought a new one to replace this one. But just before I got it in the mail, I come in here one day and I turned all the meters on, and voila, this thing just magically started working. So I don't know what was going on. So that's why this one I can kind of sort of recommend. Okay, it could be that it could be too that it sat in my desk drawer for 2 years in the box. And it just needed some time to breathe. And it took a couple weeks actually for it to start working correctly. But it actually works good now though. It really does. So I would say that definitely anyone could rely on this to give you good readings. Okay, the air quality index, 12 and 10. So these numbers, even when they go over 100, when I make something happen to make these numbers to test things, when this goes to like to 150, this is like 160 or 140. So these stay pretty accurate on the air quality. As long as these numbers are in the green, then you're good to go. As soon as they start turning red, then something's going on. Okay, now let's look at this one here. The particle matter on this one is 25, 21. This is still, this is 3, this is 5, and oh, well, I gotta go back. Now, this was 3. 3, 6, 2. Now, this could be 6 because I was tapping on it. Yeah, that'll do that. But this one's at 21. It's been setting at 21. CO2 is 400, okay? But the typical house is like anywhere from 6 to 800 indoors, okay? Now, when I take this Temtop outside, it goes down to like 4 something. Okay, well, that's outdoors. You're inside where the windows are closed and it's a little more stuffy. It's not as fresh. 600 to 800 is normal indoors. Okay, this is always staying at 400 or 410 or what, you know. So here, let me show you a little test here real quick. I'm going to do a test with a piece of tissue paper. I want to show you something. Now, okay, this here, hopefully you can see this screen. We'll turn the light on there. Okay, we're going to light this. Now, these here probably shouldn't change much. The CO2, this won't cause much CO2. What this is going to cause is carbon monoxide. So it shouldn't really affect the CO2 much. So the only carbon monoxide meters that I have, sensors that I have is in this and in this. Well, supposedly in this, but we're going to see what happens. Okay, if you want to test your carbon monoxide meter, just light yourself a piece of tissue paper, okay? Now get ready for some noise and then blow it out. While it's smoking, put it around the sensor. I guess I got to get the sensor in the smoke. Okay, there goes the sensor. Now let's try. Now it's drawing in from this side. So let's see the CO2 if it goes up. Okay, the CO2 there is not changing. But now watch this one when I put the smoke around it. Now that CO2 is going nuts, is starting to go up. Yeah, look at the CO2. Look at that go. But now on that one, I want you to look at, are you looking at what I hope you're looking at? Okay, now this is where it draws air in on this side. So see, like I said, this is really not affecting CO2, carbon dioxide. What this is putting off is carbon monoxide. See, if I put this on the meter, then this is going to go absolutely nuts. But notice something, look at this carbon monoxide on here. According to this, I'm good to go. But according to this, I'm going to be dead in a little bit. That's why I'm saying this here is going to cost somebody their life. Because carbon monoxide, what's so deadly about it is that you can't smell it. You cannot smell carbon monoxide. So you do not even know that it's present. If this is telling me that there's no carbon monoxide present, I could have died in my sleep. Because this was saying that the air quality was perfect as far as carbon monoxide goes. The CO2 was going nuts in here. It went over 1200. The CO2 on here didn't do barely anything because it shouldn't. It only should affect it just even a little bit. Okay. But now look here, this one here, the air quality has went down because of the smoke. It's affected the particle matter meters. The volatile organic compound, it didn't really mess with much because it's smoke. So like if you light a cigarette, this will go nuts over 500. This one will go over 500. This one will go over 500. This one will go over 500. It'll settle down now. But I just wanted to do that just to show you, just to show that this, I love this. If you want a carbon monoxide meter, please get yourself one of these. I can't believe how sensitive this is. Where these meters take a little bit to actually register This one here, as soon as you walk into some carbon monoxide, it is like right now, it's going up. The reason I thought I had carbon monoxide in here was because I turned this on the other day and it was showing 22, I think it was, 22, 25. And I was like, no way, what's going on? Because this is always a 0. Either 0 and it'll flicker to 1 and then back to 0. But mostly it always stays right where it's at right now, 0. But I turned it on the other day and it was showing 25. And I was like, uh-oh, my goodness. So I'm getting a little nutty, I guess, paranoid. Maybe. No, not too bad, but a little bit paranoid. I was like, what's going on? Because I had a serious issue in North Carolina when I was there. And I almost died. So I am a little... That's why I like seeing these numbers. If something's wrong, I want to know so I can figure it out. Well, I took this outside. Immediately, I thought something went wrong with it. As soon as I took it outside, immediately it dropped down to 0. I walked back into this room and bam, right within a couple seconds, it was right back up to 25. Now, it wasn't at the alarm level, but still 25 prolonged amount of time will affect you, you know. And I was feeling a little nausea and I felt like I was starting to get a headache, but I'm wondering now if that wasn't placebo when I started seeing this number, because a lot of times that will happen. It's a lot of times a placebo, you'll get a placebo effect, and that will be, especially if you know the symptoms. Like the symptoms, if you have carbon monoxide and this is saying 1 and you start suddenly feeling nauseated and dizzy, lightheaded, the first thing to do immediately would be to walk outside for a few minutes to see if it changes, if your feeling changes, okay? Because we can be our own carbon monoxide tester. And if you walk outside for a few minutes and suddenly you start feeling better, and then you walk back into the same room you were in and you start feeling nausea again, you know something's wrong. And you're like, well, why isn't this thing saying anything? So it can't be carbon monoxide. And then you call a company to come out and they say, my goodness, your levels are deadly in here. What is going on? Okay, these numbers are still up. That one's up to 148. That one's 161 and 174. So all of these numbers are pretty cool. Staying. And when the numbers are high, they're also pretty close to this one as well. As long as this one, so maybe this not so bad after all, because I mean 18 isn't bad. I just would like to know when it is, if it's the if the quality is good enough to be 1 or 3, I would like to know that. Okay, I'm going to show you a video right now, okay, that proves that this is not more sensitive like I was thinking. I was thinking that possibly this was just a more sensitive meter and why it was always showing higher. So let me show you. let me show you. Okay. I saved this video before I started, or saved this before I started this video because I wanted to show you this. This is a guy that walks around his house with a Temtop handheld M2000C meter. Now I know this is not the, this is M2000 the C version. So it has carbon dioxide and particles, but that's all it has. Okay, it doesn't have the formaldehyde and other things. But look at his reading. And I'm not going to sit here through the whole video for you. You can come and watch it. Lakeshore Restoration LLC water, fire, mold. If I remember, I'll put a link to his video in the description. But you can refer back to this if you want to. And then just look this up. But this is alive in his house. Okay? And this is about what my M10 would be reading. It stays around 3.8. So that just proves to me that it's not that this meter is more sensitive because it's more professional. It's because this is defective. All right, now I'm going to prove something else real quick here. Because I know some of you are thinking the same thing that I was thinking. Well, it was probably just a bad one. Well, hello. Guess what I have? I have a second one. I just got it in the mail. Amazon sent a replacement. And I guess I shouldn't have done this right now because the numbers are still high from my little smoke experiment. So let me turn my air purifier up a little higher. So hopefully that noise won't interfere too much, so we can get these numbers down. So these are the three that I would be, that you can be watching to watch the numbers go down, because they'll get down when the air clears out in here. And by the way, I have a Levoit Core 300S that I just love. That thing, I love it, love it. It works so well at getting rid of smoke, smells, and it's just beautiful. So the numbers will start going down because I have it on high right now, so it shouldn't take too long to get the numbers to go back down. But pay attention to the particle numbers and how close they are. This one is only saying 77. It's crazy ridiculous. Okay, let's see. The formaldehyde is 0.005, and that is 50. And this new one that they sent me as a replacement, this is where it stays, 001. So this one's defective. Not only is that defect, the particles are defective, but also the formaldehyde sensor is defective in this one. Because this one is pretty accurate, I think. It stays with this one. So I know the formaldehyde is more than 1. That's why I know this is defective. TVOC 0.470, 0.2, almost 300. So pretty close. Air quality 173, 199, and well, that was one. Well, it does go to 3 digits, 125. So I don't know. But the number is red, and that is red, and that is red. So it's 0.7 and 0.80. 0.50, 0.1. So yeah, this one's defective too. This replacement is defective more so than this one is. So yeah, that's why I can't recommend these either at all. I'm going to contact Amazon. I'm going to send both of these back, not just one, but both of them, because there's no point in having them because they're so inaccurate. When this one gets above 20, these get above 20, then they're pretty much accurate with these numbers. But it won't show anything below. I think the lowest I've seen this go was 10, and that's it. Nothing below that. When this is setting at 1, all three of these are setting at 1. This one's still setting at 12, 13, 14, or 15. And then once in a while, it'll jump down to 10 and then go back up to 18. So like I said, even outside, these here were showing just before I brought them back in the house, because and also, yeah, thank you God for reminding me. In case you're sitting there saying, well, maybe you needed to let it sit outside for what they recommend, 6 hours. This one, and this one last night. I put them out last night, 7 o'clock last night. And I didn't bring them in till like 7 o'clock this morning. So 12 hours or so they were outside. So that's double what they recommend. Okay. Outside, these were reading 24 and 25. When this one here was at 1. 1. On the particle. These were at 24 and 25. So yeah, definitely 100% defective. The readings are too far out to be useful. This one's at 49, and these are always about 20 off from each other. 10 to 20 off. 50, 60, 52, 61, and 84. This will go down unless it's going to start messing up again. That's why I can kind of sort of recommend this one, because it does give good information. It gives close information, which is really all you need. If you want pinpoint accuracy, it's probably going to cost $500-600 to get that kind of accuracy. And I know that a lot of people can't afford that. But maybe you can wait a couple weeks and be able to afford $100 so you can get this. Or what was it, $80 or $90? I think it was $90 I paid for it. This here is around $50. But this is for smoke, okay? So a lot of people in California would find this useful. Okay, 43, 50, 75. Yeah, this number will start equaling these here in a little bit. It could be that this is just being a little bit more sensitive, maybe. I'm trying to keep these apart from one another. Like this one is setting in front of this one because it sucks in the air on this side, blows it out on this side. So I don't want it to interfere with the readings, but so that's why I'm keeping this one back here and this one's up front. So there's no interference from each other. This one draws in air from this side and blows it out that way. This one draws in air from this side and blows it out that way. But that's why I have this one angled so the air is coming out this way instead of coming back into this one. This one brings air in from the back and blows it out the back. So there's nothing that's affecting with that. This one here, we're going to take it apart. I don't even know if there's a fan in there. There may be, but I'm assuming it's, this is probably just a little speaker. So I don't know, but we're going to take this one apart. Yeah, these numbers are a little more off than they normally are. Yeah, it would wait till I do my video to start being off. Yeah, because usually these are within 5 of each other. But this is being like 20 apart, which is kind of a little strange. Because that's not normal for this. I mean, that smoke I did in here, it's probably just still coughing. It probably, it just hasn't worked through its system yet, maybe. But this one here, these are setting around pretty much identical, almost the same. And this one's 40. But like I said, as long as the actual number is above like 25, 30, then they pretty much read what these do. It's like for some reason these won't go below 18 for some reason, and then they'll drop down to 15 or even 12, but then they go right back up to 18 or 13. This one here, the lowest I've seen it go, I think, was 9, but that was once. I think one time I saw it go to like 9, and that was it. But most all the time it stays at 13, 15, 18. The light here is green. TVOC, the light is green. Air quality, 82, the light is green, so that means the air quality is good. It's not hurting anything. This one is showing 0.70 formaldehyde. This was showing 0.15 formaldehyde. This one is showing 0.40, and this one is still showing 0.1. So 0.001. Where is the other one? 0.005. Well, this one actually is higher than this one, but this one seems to always stay at 0.001 for some reason. That's weird. This one's never at 0.001. This one's always pretty much accurate. Because I went online, I did a lot of research to what formaldehyde levels should be. And I think unless you're in a hospital environment, you're not going to see 0.001. I don't even think you'd see that low in a hospital. Okay. Particle, 22, 34, 41. Okay, it's saying with 10 of each other. Particle on this one says 22. That's where it was when I first turned it on. So throughout all of this whole thing, it's pretty much stayed at 24. 32, 22, 35. I'll just leave it here. And then I can edit this out in the video. Or speed it up anyway. Actually, that's what I could probably do. Just speed it up. I think what's happening now is that I've been airing out my bathroom. They painted in here, painted the whole bathroom, ceiling, walls, everything. Tore out walls, put in new walls, put in new commode, put in new shower, remodeled the whole thing. And I think even though most of the paint fumes are finally gone, I think there's still some lingering around. And I think what happens is, depending on the manufacturer, different sensors react differently to even small amounts of paint fumes and cologne. I'm wearing cologne right now as well. Probably shouldn't have done that for this video. But that could be why these are not getting down to 1 yet. Taking so long to get down to 1. But this one, if you notice, the particle is still at 27, and that's pretty much where it was when I started this, at 22 to 27. No matter what I've done, I believe this has pretty much stayed at that same numbers. These here, if you can see, on both these M2000s, even though these now is down to 3, 5, and 4, these are still up around 14, and this one's at 15. So these are way off. And these will not. I could sit here all day, but I'm not going to do that on this video. But I could sit here all day, and they'll still be setting around this numbers right here. Now this one here is still at 0.001. Okay, this one's 0.024. This one is at 0.005. So this definitely is fake. I'm not saying this is not fake, because I've already taken it apart. It has a formaldehyde sensor in it, but I'm thinking this one definitely is 100% defective. The particle meters on both of these are defective. This formaldehyde is good. The CO2 is good. That's the lowest that number's ever been in this room. 460. No, I think it was around 4 something before. But usually it's around 6 to 800, which is normal for indoors. So this number here, no matter how long you let it set here, after it starts, give it about 30 minutes to be on, it pretty much stays around 410 around all the time, no matter what happens. Unless, like you saw when I did the smoke test, the CO2 sensor went bonkers, which it should not have. The carbon monoxide did nothing, stayed at 1. When this one was going ballistic. So yeah, I love this thing. So please get one of these to just walk around your house for something to be handheld, or if you have a friend that calls you, said they think they might have an issue with carbon monoxide, just say, hey, I'll be over there in about 15 minutes, and bring this with you. Run around their house, do some checking for them. This is incredible. I love this thing. Love it, love it, love it. I wish these people made more like a CO2 sensor and a formaldehyde sensor. I would get every one of them if they would do that. So Smart Sensor, if you're watching this video, please I love your gas one too. The gas sniffer, that thing is awesome. I love it. Now if somebody wants me to do a video on that one, I will, but all you have to do is ask. Like I said, coming up with video ideas is a little nutty for me because it's been done so many times, so that's why I decided not to do. This one I did simply because I'm hoping to be able to save somebody's life. So finally now it's reached down to 2. This one's at 3. This one's at 2. These are still at 13, 14, which is just ridiculous. It should not be. This is pointless to have these because it's not giving good readings. As long as you don't mind that it doesn't go down to 2, then these should be okay to get. But for me, I don't see the point, because if you want to check really good quality air in somebody's house, this is not going to give that to you because it just isn't given the correct readings. And this here definitely 100% is defective in this replacement model that they sent me. So I think I'm going to send both of these back to them. Don't even waste your time getting these because it's a hit and miss, obviously. Because to get 2 in a row that's both defective, not a good sign. But then again, because of the experience I've had with Temtop, even the 2000C might be a hit and miss. You might order one and it might be defective. Okay, and then you order another one and it works. Or you get 2 of them, like this one, and both of them are defective. And then how many of these do I have to buy before I get one that actually works? Also, when I contacted Temtop, they never even bothered to get back to me at all. For 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks. After they did finally get back to me, after this long letter that I sent them about doing my YouTube channel, doing my video, and wanting one of these that actually works so I could give them a good name, their only response to me was to buy one of their more expensive models. And end of story. That to me told me that they know that these are garbage and they're not going to admit it. Okay? just buy a more expensive model. That was their resolve. So I cannot recommend Temtop, period, at all for their customer service. Now, they have some more expensive models and maybe they do work, but this one seems to be working okay, and other people say the same thing. So the M10 might be a good idea. Okay, if you want a handheld version, the M2000C might be okay, but do your diligence research first. If you would like me to test one, as long as it's not one of their more expensive that I can't afford to buy, but now it's down to one and 0, 1 and 3. These are still 11 and 13. And so I guess if you're going to buy one of these though, my experience tells me that their customer service, they don't care. Okay, now maybe in the past they did, and people that might not like what I just said may have dealt with them 5 years ago, and at that time they may have been very good. But my experience with this, even though I told them I was doing my YouTube video, they still had no concern or care that I got a defective unit. They just wanted me to spend more money to buy a more expensive unit. That was not a good resolve. If you're going to buy one of these, I suggest you buy it through Amazon. So if you do get one that is defective, Amazon will replace it or refund your money. I can't praise Amazon enough for their resolve. It's beautiful. They're beautiful. So I'm so thankful to God right now that I signed up with Amazon about 2 months ago, I guess now it's been. It's just been a super, super, super experience. Their customer service is outstanding. Temtop's customer service is through the floor. I would not try to deal with Temtop at this point. Now maybe, hopefully their customer service, if it was good at one point, maybe it'll get back to that. I don't know. And hopefully this video right here and others like this one, if there is any others, Temtop will see, and maybe they will do something to improve that. I don't know. But as you can see, all of these now are pretty much staying exactly the same. The room is kind of settled down really good. I was in and out of the room a few times, so that might have been affecting the readings as well. So yeah, whenever you're using one of these, if you walk around your room, you move boxes around, you make your bed, etc., these numbers are going to start jumping around, all over the place until things settle down again. But I use a Levoit Core 300 air purifier, which really super, super, super helps. And I don't need to do a video on the Levoit Core 300S because there are many incredible videos on YouTube about the Levoit Core 300 and the 200. But yeah, I would stay away from Temtop, the company, for the customer service. Now, if you want to go through Temtop and buy something, then that's fine. But just know that you're not going to have the customer support. Go to Amazon, get yourself a Temtop. If you have an issue, then deal with Amazon. They will immediately make a resolve. Anyway, let's get into tearing this little bad boy apart because I want to see what's inside. Now I'm going to turn my air purifier down so as to get rid of the noise while I'm doing this teardown. I'll set these out of the way and unplug this one and turn it off. Hold the button in to turn it off. Okay, now I know I can't, there's no reason to grab for the screwdriver because there are no screws on this thing. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to get my spludger, I think it's called, spludger, and see if we can get inside this thing. All right, you know what? I'm going to go to my other camera, my bench camera, and that would be that one. All right. And let's turn some light up. And maybe zoom in a little bit. Okay, and then let's see if we can get this thing apart. Yeah, it's glued down pretty good here. Now there might be screws underneath this screen, but we'll find that out. And Franklin, it doesn't look like I've broken it yet. Yep, there's screw. It looks like. That looks like screws. Let's see. Oops, I need a bit. Ah, it is. There's screws. There's 4 of them under there, Franklin. And you don't have to worry about breaking it, but, well, you don't have to take yours apart now anyway, because I'm doing it for you. Okay, let's put this over on the magnet. All right, I'm excited to see what's in here. This is the one thing that I've truly been looking forward to. Taking this apart to see what is inside. And I know Franklin is like saying, yes, finally, I get to see what's inside here. So Franklin, let's see what's inside. Franklin who? Well, I hope I'm saying your name right. If I'm not, don't get too mad at me. Okay. There we go. All right. Okay, the moment of truth is about to come. If now maybe I'll break. No, it's coming apart pretty easy. Okay, there it is. Ah, look what I found. Look what I found. Guess what that is? That's a volatile organic compound sensor. That's a VOC sensor. There's the battery. Now, it looks like maybe there's a sensor right here. And I'm going to assume that this looks like it could be a particle sensor. But the thing is, though, it obviously is defective or it doesn't do what it's supposed to. Yeah, I don't care if I break this anyway because I'm not going to be using it because it's garbage. Let's take this out. Like I said, I'm going to throw this away anyhow. So let's take this out and see if this is what kind of a meter's in here. I mean, it looks like it looks like a particle meter. But we'll see. Or maybe there's nothing down in there. Now I guess I can use the screws out of this for something. Okay, that's covering. What in the world has got a hold on this? Feels like there was a fan down in there. Oh, it feels like it's glued down. That thing will not come out of there. All right. Oh, it was glued down. Okay. All right, I'm tearing this apart for you, Franklin. Oh my goodness. Look at that. There's nothing in there. It's just a plastic box with a little circuit board on top of it. And that's not even a sensor. Why did they waste their time making something like that? What is that? So maybe all these little resistors are creating all the numbers. Because different resistor values would give different numbers off. So maybe that's all this is. It's kind of like a calculator board to create the numbers. Wow. So it only has one sensor in it. The typical Chinese fake air quality monitor with the single VOC sensor. So that's the only sensor on here is the VOC sensor. Wow. Okay. All right. There you go, Franklin. Now you know what's in there, and you can now take yours over to the garbage can and drop it because it's junk. Here's an air quality index chart that I downloaded, and this gives you some good readings for what your air quality should be, and if you're getting into unhealthy situations, it will give you the numbers. So you can pause this video, save a picture out of the frame maybe. I mean, I'm just assuming here, I am. But a lot of people are starting to call out China for these knockoff cheap fakes. I think what could be happening is I've noticed recently that some of these Chinese knockoffs are shooting sky high in price. It's possible that some of these Chinese companies are thinking, well, wait a minute. We can't sell these for $30 anymore because people are not buying them, because there's people saying that these are garbage and they're proving that we're making garbage. So what if we just triple our price? Then people will be like, wow, that's got to be real because it's so expensive. Because I did see one that was like $60, but I can't remember where it was now. And it was an actual fake, and it was $60. Do your diligent research. Please, I beg you to do your research before you buy one of these. The ones that I recommend is the Temtop M10. I can recommend that one. I can recommend the Hofun, and I can recommend kinda sorta the Hofun. But the reason I kinda sorta recommend this one is because of the problems that I had with mine. Even though now it seems to be working okay, it took me a long time to get it to work okay. Couple weeks. But like I said, that could have been user error because I left it set in a drawer for 2 years. And it may have taken a couple weeks for recalibrate, leave it outside for 6 hours, 10 hours at a time, before it finally started working good. Now, if you buy one of these like right now, then maybe right out of the box, as long as you take it out of the box immediately when you get it, air it out really good for a few hours outside, and then turn it on and calibrate it, it should work just fine for you. So that's why I kind of sort of recommend this one, but I do recommend this one if you live in California, if you're in a smoky area. This is really good for smoke, but that's the drawback to it. It only does smoke and temperature and air humidity. Now the M10 does the air quality index, it does formaldehyde, it does particles, it does TVOC, total volatile organic compound. So this would be a really good monitor to have in your home to constantly be monitoring. But if you do get one of these, because like I said, I'm starting to think Temtop is a hit and miss. That's a lot of money to spend to maybe get one that actually works. But if you do get one of these, now mine works fine, but if you get one of these and the reading is what you don't think it should be in your house, say it's saying 25, and you're like, no, there's no way it can be 25. What I say, to find out if it's defective, take it outside, okay? Out into the open air and let it sit there for about, at least I would say 15 to 30 minutes. And if it's still setting at 25 outside, then something's wrong with it. Get this on Amazon. Do not deal with Temtop. Get this on Amazon or this. If you do have an issue, they will immediately rectify it for you and help you. But anyway, the smart sensor though, love it, love it, love it. Smart sensor makes some really cool, neat little products. This here, please people, stay away from this, stay away from it. If you do have one in your house, immediately take your hammer and smash it, throw it in a garbage can, and go buy one of these. So there's 3 to choose from here, okay? I did at one point tell Amazon that I was putting a video together, but they were doing this before I ever told them that. So that's not why they're bending over backwards. No, they are just exceptional. Really, truly. I've had incredible experience with them so far. So, and I hope it stays that way. Amazon, if you're watching this, please don't ever lose that. Oh my goodness, don't lose that. We need that kind of communication. We need that kind of support. I love the fact that you can click that little button that says, call me now. And as soon as you put your telephone number in there, within 2 seconds, my phone's ringing. It's crazy. It didn't matter what time of day it was or night. The one time I talked to them was right around midnight. So anyway, I really truly hope and pray that this is going to save someone's life, and maybe yours or your child's. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you take away something from this. What I do want to say more than anything with this is, please don't think about the money when it comes to this, because this is a matter of life and death. Now, there's a lot of people that go through their whole life and never even care about having an air quality monitor. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you are concerned that something's going on, because maybe you have a loved one that has an illness and the air quality needs to be a certain place, okay? So you are thinking about getting a monitor so you can keep a better watch on the air quality. Get one of the 3 meters that I recommend. And if you have another one that you would rather get other than the ones that I recommend, please let me know which one it is. If you're not sure about it, I will do research. If I can afford to, I will buy it and test it for you and make a video to show you if it's good or not. I'm looking and I'm needing ideas. I'm still waiting for someone to leave I'm starting to get more comments now, and I love that. And thank you guys so much for giving me feedback. Now, there is babble in this video, I know, but there has to be babble. Sometimes there just has to be some babble going on. Now, I will try to cut out a lot of the babble that I think is babble, but a lot of the babble needs to be said, because this video had to cover 6 different meters, tearing one apart, the ins and outs of knowing what to buy, what not to buy. There's just so much information that needed to be covered in this. So this is probably going to be one of the longest videos, or hopefully I can still keep it below an hour. But please, I ask that you watch this whole video all the way through. Make yourself a cup of coffee. Well, I guess it's a little late to be saying that. I should have said that at the beginning of the video. If you have a friend, okay, I'll say it that way. If you have a friend that you would love to see this video, tell them to go make themselves their favorite cup of coffee and then sit down and watch this, because maybe it could save their life. So please do your research. Even if it costs $80, don't just blindly buy it because it's more expensive. Because it's like the old saying, just because it costs a lot of money doesn't mean that it's any good, because it can be garbage. And these are. Now, most all of our electronics is made in China, so you can't really get away from that. The cases may be made in the USA, but all the parts come from China. Temtop is based in Shanghai, China. That's where they're based in. And they have meters that have real, genuine sensors in them. Now, I just unfortunately got 2 of them in a row, which is weird. 2 of them in a row that are defective. And then their response to me was not even, I'm sorry. They just said, hello, go buy the more expensive one. Like, don't bother me. Don't even waste my time. I don't want to talk to you. Even after I told them, my original email to them, that I was doing this video, that I was making a comparison with 2 of their meters, comparing them to 3 others besides theirs. Even after I told them that, the only thing they said to me was, hello, go buy a more expensive one. End of story. That to me tells me everything I need to know about that company. If there's a video you would like me to do, something that you would like to know, something that you need help with, and I will create a video the best I can to help you resolve that problem. Okay? And I think now, let's see, think, Steve, make sure. This video is already going to be long, making sure you got everything said that needs to be said. Everything said that needs to be said, I think. So, okay, there we go. All right, then, I'm going to end this video like I do always. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, find somebody that needs to laugh and make them howl and give them a hug. That helps a lot too. Take care, God bless, and I will see you the next time.